We'll spend the next 60 minutes on how to find talent, how to engage talent, and how to make them grow. That's the area we'll discuss. In your experience, in the 10, 2, 5, 15 years of experience in this business, in this industry, what has been your peak moment? As in, like, what made you happy being a talent developer? So, attorney, you go first.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, there are many highlights in one's HR career, but I think the question, is this working? Can I be heard? But I think the question is in relation to HP. The 1 year and 8 months that I've been in HP, Raju, is that the case?
Yeah.
So I think the peak moment for me as an HR practitioner in HP is really being able to drive engagement levels at the highest levels possible. And it's not just a matter of HR driving it, but making sure that there's that partnership that exists between HR and the business community in making sure that those objectives of driving engagement levels go up. So that has been truly exciting for me the past 1 year and 8 months here in HP.
So in my experience over the past 15 years, what has really provided me great joy is being able to provide the best career opportunities for our employees. And you know that with a very young mobile workforce, typically this is something that our young people look forward to. And when I see that you're removing the barriers for people to progress in their careers, where at one point they could be, for example, in a technical career, and then the next few years they spend, for example, say in BPO and then in other parts of the business. I think there's great fulfillment there because it means that their own career aspirations, they will be able to fulfill it and not have to think about, for example, potentially having to leave the country, but they actually have all those opportunities available to them even now. So from time to time, there are people who come up to me and say, do you remember I was once an associate software engineer, and now they've all grown into senior managers. So when you look at how they have developed over the years, it's really a marvelous feeling.
So I started with the company when we were only 60, I think, and now we have grown to 150. So I think what brings me joy in my work is building the trust between the people and management. And since there's a lot of obstruction in people and also some specifics in running a business like metrics, this is really a challenge which I think I'm excited. So I try to link how to manage the behavior of people and how their outcomes can be benefited by the business and tie it up with KPIs and revenues of the company.
Given that so many changes have taken place in this industry, not just in this specific discipline, but all industries, from the use of technology, how has that changed your life today?
Technology is a double-edged sword. It's, as Alfie said, Attorney Alfie, he said that it's made us become more productive because you can do more things with technology. On the other hand, it has also made things more complicated because now you have a myriad of choices on how you can go about doing things. The one thing that I noticed, having been in the HR area for quite some time, is in talent acquisition. Now, or when I first got started, which is, I would say, roughly about 5 years ago, it was still typical for us to publish print ads in the newspaper to attract talent. But now, if you do something like that, you get virtually very little responses, and then the responses you get are from engineering graduates. So those are mechanical, electrical, because those are the types of people that still check the newspapers. I mean, nothing wrong with newspapers. I don't want to get in trouble here, but it's just a different demographic that check the newspapers. Nothing wrong with newspapers. On the flip side, through the use of technology now to attract good IT talent, of course, there's the electronic job boards, JobStreet, MyNemo, JobsDB. But on top of that now, with social media marketing, it has led now to a different recruiting space.
You spent 20 years in that company, and you have 400 employees, How do you cascade that down and make them loyal as you are? Do you have any special retention and engagement techniques, something that comes out of Japanese philosophy? Something special. Before I go to others, I mean, is there something special you guys do?
I'm not sure, but maybe from the start we developed invented the Japanese culture of loyalty and
Bushido.
yeah, and we call the not lifetime employment, but lifetime imprisonment. So maybe because of our training program, yeah, that we teach not only on the technical side, we teach the language, we teach the culture. And by the way, our training program was awarded the best corporate program in the Philippines some time ago.
Wow, okay. We should get a sample of that. So Sheryl, two things on my mind. One is that your internship program and the fact that you give them so many options. What you're doing is letting them choose between what is their potential and what is their passion. Yeah? So they find that divide and choose one of the two. No? That's a yes to that. The second one is that you do make a certain amount of financial and sweat investment into people you have not yet hired. Is that correct? Is that a big challenge? Is that a big investment for Accenture?
Well, some people might say, right, that you're, training it up only to give it away to your competition. But I believe that as a pioneer in this industry, we have to have enough talent to go around. So at the end of the day, we really punctuate, our meetings with these young people to say, you are future leaders. Our only ask of you is to ensure that you build your careers in the Philippines because you are the future, right? And so whatever investments we may have made, of course, I'd be hypocritical to say we wouldn't want them to join us, but at the end of the day, they make their own career choices. Our work is partly done once we've set them out on that place where they know where they want to go and they can contribute positively to the industry.
How do you keep them happy, engaged, and productive? Filipinos, I'm sorry, I don't like to call Filipinos, I like to call them kababayans. So how do you keep them happy? So maybe your opinions.
So I'll just validate what Pauline mentioned with the top reasons for attrition. We do conduct compensation surveys and we cover these keys. So top reasons for attrition, the first two are very much related. So better opportunities, pay, and also both local and abroad. But what we've seen interestingly for the past 3 years is that relationship with the management or supervisor relationship came in as a third reason. Okay. So previously, this is at the bottom of the reasons that the companies would be providing. This is the results of the exit interviews they've been conducting. So it is true that the employees don't leave their companies, they leave their bosses. So
there's a book out there by the time. Okay. ALFIE, you want to say something?
Just wanted to give my 2 cents worth in the discussion. Well, it's important that we pay competitive based on market. Because if we don't end up having our benefits and our pay competitive in the market, whatever we do in the other side of, in the other interventions, it will definitely not work. So I think that's the first minimum requirement to play in the talent war. But on top of that, I think it's very important that we sell the total work experience. And the total work experience in every company is different. It depends on what you want to accentuate.
Thank you everyone on the panel here for sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, and the audience for participating, sitting up and listening to every statement that was uttered. So if you have any questions, you can take them up later, but 1 sentence each as to the future and the hope of this industry, of this discipline from all of us, and then it'll be adios amigos.
Yeah, as an HR practitioner, I think we need to improve the human resources quality more to be adaptable also to the global market. So to be able to sustain the growth for outsourcing and also more jobs and stronger economy.
Great. Okay.
So there's a whole lot of potential that this industry holds for Filipinos. So continue our advocacy for our people to stay and contribute to the nation, to the country. And I would say that as HR practitioners, we need to help our respective business leadership to be more agile.
The industry in the Philippines is also evolving, so the people have to evolve to follow, especially the leaders of the industry.
Keep your employees always engaged. It's the way to retain them.
Blue and maroon.
That's a good one.
Blue because the owners of Alliance are blue. No, but really, my last parting statement is K to 12. There's some hope as far as increasing supply. K to 12 promises a higher supply because as a result of K to 12, we will have basically students with an equivalent of an associate degree.
I would like to believe that if we grow this industry and grow employment, we would be able to raise incomes, put food on the table, get people to bring their kids in have good education, and consumption will definitely increase. So this industry is a game changer for us in the country, and you will also be able to change the lives of many million Filipinos.
Great.
So I hope we get our acts together. Thank you.
So, ALFIE for president?